Broncos are on. What a good day. Good day in Broncos Country.
Great day. And happy birthday to my son.
Yes, let's go. Happy birthday. Oh, the big one, 6.
Yeah, wow. Still waiting for him to get his permit, so I had to buy a car.
Oh, there you go. So what I just heard is when he gets a permit, he gets your car?
Heck no.
Oh, not your car. That's fair. That's fair. Henry, what was your first car?
Ford Expedition. It's like I think it was a '98 Expedition. So I would have got that when I was about 16, maybe 15. Because Montana, you get your permit at like 14.
It's funny because you say Expedition, and I know it wasn't like this, but my mind automatically thinks like an Expedition 122 spinning rims.
I know. It's not like that. No, they don't have those up in Montana. It was like the Eddie Bauer Expedition. It was, yeah. But it was,
I mean, that's so fitting for Montana, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was perfect. It was green, like forest green. It was a good car. It lasted way longer than it should.
How long did you have it?
Would have been, that would have been like my sophomore year of high school, and I think I got a new one like my junior year of college.
Okay, yeah. Pretty good. What happened to it?
I think it just like went to a new home. Like it didn't die or anything. It was just like time to
your
get something.
parents kind of.
We're getting some comments about Mike show.
Oh no! Huh. It's the best part of the show right now.
I know.
Oh,
wow.
no.
We'll have to reenact it.
Yeah. Should we just start from the beginning? Let us know when we're live again, or when people can hear. Oh, they're blaming Yaya. Yep, that's good.
Yep, definitely him. Definitely him.
Blame you here.
Okay.
Yep, that is all his fault right there. I have at least you really enjoyed this stuff with me.
Yeah, that was fun. We're gonna have to come up with a new conversation after this.
Yeah. You just risk when the mics go live if you're still saying it.
Okay, I'm turning him off real quick.
They don't even know they can't hear us.
They don't even.
Like 300. Pretty good.
Happy Halloween! Happy NFL trade line! Happy win streak for the Broncos. We got 2 win streaks. We're talking about a 2-game win streak for the Broncos and a 1-game win streak against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I don't care if it's just 1 game. It's a win streak for the Broncos. We talked about that other one for way too long. So now we get to talk about a Broncos win streak.
Yeah, they haven't beat us in 3 days.
In 3 days, man. Well, they actually haven't beat the Broncos in like 20 days.
That's true.
Yeah,
right?
I guess
That's
you could
true.
say that.
It's a 20-day streak for the Broncos.
Sorry,
it really
suckers.
is a shame they can't hear all the fun things we were talking about.
Yeah, we had a great start to the show.
I can say, this morning my girlfriend was saying like, you want to do something tonight? And I was like, yeah, probably, like maybe. Yeah, we'll see what happens. And I was like, yeah, we'll just kind of see how the day goes. Totally forgot it's Halloween. Like a holiday, because I've just been so locked into the trade deadline. And the easy answer, like you're supposed to just say, yes, of course, it's a holiday. We should carve a pumpkin or something. Whatever people do on Halloween. I'm an adult now. I'm not really sure.
Do you have candy to give out?
No. I live in kind of a weird apartment complex.
That's fair.
Nobody's trick-or-treating there.
That's fair. Todd, what type of candy are you giving out?
I don't give out candy.
You don't give out candy?
really?
I tell kids, get off my porch. Get off my lawn.
At least it's not giving out like toothpaste or whatever the old people give out.
Yeah.
What's wrong with
Floss.
that?
Well, I mean, kids want candy.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I'm never home. It's always my son's birthday.
That's
Once again,
right.
shout out to my son.
Oh, yeah.
Zaire,
A second
happy
shout
birthday.
out because
So I'm never home to give out anything.
The big
Wow.
1-6?
16 years old.
Dang. I
Yeah.
feel like we need to reenact this. So
Yeah.
is getting a car?
No
No.
car yet.
Yeah.
He hasn't got his permit yet, so we're waiting for that. But there's a really nice car that I found. I just can't give it to him.
Oh, man.
I really wish I could.
How long is
man.
that car going to be available?
I don't know. It's pretty hot. It might get taken. You
Wow.
never know.
Well, if it does, then he's getting dad's car, right?
Grandma's car.
Okay, there we go. Henry, do you want to tell us about your first car?
Yeah, so we don't need to go through all the details. Essentially,
Because we did that when we were muted.
in Montana, exactly. In Montana, you can get your permit super early. So I got a car when I was like 15. It was like a 1998 Ford Expedition. Not a cool one like Todd would have thought. I mean, Eddie Bauer, though, which is Zach said,
Yeah,
very
very
Montana.
Montana.
Yes.
It's like a forest green, which also very Montana. And I kept it for about 5 years. So there's my car story.
I like
That's
it.
just-
Cliff's notes
Todd,
there.
what was your first car?
I had a 1966 Buick Skylark.
Ooh.
Wow.
And didn't run for too long, but I loved I loved it nevertheless.
Wow.
My first car was a 1993 Toyota Camry. It was a little purple.
Okay.
And
A little purple.
What does that
What
mean?
was the rest
A little. It wasn't
one
like
of
full
the-
purple. No, it was
like
all
half
purple.
purple?
Yeah. That would be classic first car if
Yeah.
it was multicolored. And sometimes I would take my dad's car. He would take my car. And I went to the mountains for a weekend, like maybe a year or two after having it. But we took my girlfriend's car at the time, not my wife. And we're driving back, and we pull up to our house. And on the side of our house, there's a smushed car. And I'm like, huh, that kind of looks like my car.
Oh,
And I was
no.
like, well, I haven't heard anything from my parents. It can't be my car. It was my car.
Dang.
Yeah, when I was in the
Wow.
mountains, my car totally got totaled when my dad was driving it. It wasn't his fault, but he was okay. But I mean, it was totally smushed. And I was like, Mom and Dad, you couldn't tell me?
Exactly.
Like not only that it was my car, but like you couldn't tell me Dad got in an accident?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, I guess that's a little spooky story on Halloween.
Are you sure it wasn't your dad's fault?
Yeah, because it was smushed on both sides. And I think that would be like the front and back were
Okay.
hit. So someone behind him hit him.
Okay.
And then he hit the car in front of him.
Okay.
So did you get another car,
That
or
makes
you just
sense.
have to wait it
Yeah,
out?
no, I did get another car. Yeah,
Okay.
because insurance covered it. And then I had the next car for like 10 years. Now I'm on my third car.
It was like a really dark purple then?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of purple.
Kind of purple. Huh.
In high school, I didn't like to admit it was purple, but I guess I can now.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it could have been cool in high school. I feel like a purple car can be cool.
I was trying to be a macho
Yeah.
football player in high school, so I didn't really want to embrace that.
Wow.
But it's the trade deadline so far. No news on the Broncos front.
Yep.
And because it's the trade deadline, we've got a big day ahead of us. We're going to be doing two shows. One right now, 2 hours away from the trade deadline, taking you up to about an hour before the trade deadline. Then we're going to take a break and then come to you after the trade deadline, talk about any last-minute moves the Broncos make. I believe the Broncos traded Bradley Chubb 45 minutes before the deadline last year. So just because we're 2 hours away and there's been no deals does not mean there's not going to be another deal. So make sure to stick around with us on YouTube and on the podcast side. We're going to be bringing you another pod this afternoon. If they do make a trade, we're going to talk to George Payton and Sean Payton right after that to give you all the latest news. And if they don't make a trade, we're still going to be talking to you in the afternoon just to talk about, are the Broncos all in because of kind of what's happened these past few weeks. And speaking about what's happened the past few weeks, I have a question for you guys. Is this Broncos defense elite? And obviously, the overall stats for this year is a clear hell no.
Yes.
They're not elite. So I'm talking about not is the defense this entire season. Did I say offense?
No, you said
defense.
defense.
Okay, defense. I'm not talking about overall. I'm talking about right now. How good is this Broncos defense?
I mean, if we want to go off our last game, one of the best defenses in the league. They had a tremendous performance against a really, really talented offense in the Kansas City Chiefs. Sick or not, you're on the field, you got to play. And the Broncos came to play. So if we want to go one game by game, right now they're elite. There was a couple games ago where they were very bad, but right now they're elite.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely in really good shape at the moment. I think that you look probably the streak starting with the last Chiefs game. You go Chiefs, Packers, Chiefs, and say this is probably what you expected from this defense this year. I think probably a top 10 group, maybe not. I'm not sure what happened around the league. I'm sure some other teams had like shutouts or something. But yeah, I mean, they are a really good group. I still think I like the offense better though. I think I'd take the
Really?
I think if you go
You know what?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's tough.
Keep
It's
thinking
tough.
about that. Let's
It's
talk about
tough.
that in the second segment because that's
Okay.
that's a great question.
Yeah.
Who would you take right now, the Broncos offense or defense? But let's just dive into the defense a little more. And we have a trade coming across the news cycle right now. And whenever a trade comes by, we're just going to mention it. And then if we need to talk about it more, we will. The Vikings are sending guard Ezra Cleveland to, who's your guess? And we're going to be talking about all trades, whether it's Broncos or not.
Yeah, Todd, who needs a guard
You don't
right
say
now?
the Broncos.
Yeah, the Raiders.
The Raiders, okay. Good guess.
I mean, I'm going to go with a good team. So not the Raiders. How about
Good point.
let's go with the Chiefs. They saw that pressure that week.
No, the
last week-
Jaguars.
Okay.
0 for 2. We'll see if you get the next trade right, but not a Broncos trade there. But for this Broncos defense, Todd, you're not wrong saying that based off one game, they're elite. And you could actually say based off the last 3 games, they're elite. So let me throw some numbers at you guys. The first 5 games, they were awful.
Yeah.
We know.
Yes.
36 points per game allowed in those first 5 games. Now, some people say, okay, well, let's take off the 70-point game against Miami, which...
You
okay.
can't do that.
Okay, you can't do that. But let's and I agree with you. You can't do that. But for those people that want to do that and say, like, they weren't that bad if you take that game away, I agree with you, Todd, you can't do that. But let's take away that 70-point game in the first 5. And let's take away, if you're going to take away the worst game, you also have to take away their best game, which is a 17-point game week 1 against the Raiders.
Okay.
So you take away those games, the Broncos defense giving up over 31 points per game. Worst in the NFL by far in those first 3 weeks. So it wasn't just like one bad game against the Dolphins that made them bad. No, they were awful in the first 5 games of the season. In those first 5 games, they were giving up over 187 rushing yards per game. Right now, that would be the worst in the NFL by over 30 rushing yards. In those first 5 games, they were giving up 263 passing yards per game. That's the second worst in the NFL. And just to put in perspective how bad those 36 points is, right now the worst defense in the NFL is the Colts, giving up 28 points. Broncos are giving up over a touchdown and a 2-point conversion more than the worst team in the NFL. But as Todd said, they flipped it around.
Yep.
I mean, like instantaneous. The last 3 games, 2 against the Chiefs, which is impressive, and 1 against the Packers. Broncos are giving up 15 points per game, including holding the Chiefs to 14 points per game in those 2 games. Right now, the best defense in the NFL is the Ravens, giving up 15.1 points per game for the season.
Yeah.
So right now, the past 3 games, Broncos better than the best defense in the NFL. They're giving up 98 rushing yards per game in these past 3 games, which would be the 9th best in the NFL. 233 passing yards per game, which would be the 12th worst actually in the NFL. And they have at least 1 takeaway in each of these last 3 games. So, I mean, talk about a night and day difference.
Yeah, they have completely turned things around. And if they're able to stay like this, I think Vance will not be here next year. Maybe he will be up for a coaching job because...
Is this the new hot take?
Yeah, because you stay like this and you go from the bottom of the barrel. Well, I think they were on pace to be the worst defense of all time.
Yeah.
And you can turn around and make them a top 10 defense by the end of the year.
Yep.
Man, he needs his name in the Ring of Honor, and then he also needs to be a head coach somewhere.
Man, that's an incredible hot take. I love it. And you had to find a new one because your latest hot take that Vance was going to be back next year was cold now because it was so good.
Yeah.
Man,
You were right.
that's why I'm here, baby.
Yeah. I wish you could make a bet on that. You could have cashed it out, made some money.
Oh, like,
The odds, like
oh yeah.
the odds after the Miami game, I probably would have made so much money.
Oh my
Yep.
goodness, that would yes,
Yep.
absolutely. The Raiders' next head coach, because they need a new head coach, Josh
Yeah.
McDaniels.
Yeah.
I don't wish that on Vance though. because going to the
No.
Raiders is just like a death wish.
Yeah, I
It
think so
is.
too. I think anybody that takes that job is going to be in a tough position, no matter what.
And you
There's
like
such a
Vance
mess.
now. Can you like Vance if he's the Raiders head coach?
I think I can separate the two.
Yeah.
Just for Vance. Anybody else, I don't know.
Would you pull for Vance?
At the Raiders?
Yeah.
Just not against the Broncos.
Okay.
But then in any other game, he's more than he's able to win. I'll say that.
Okay. Yeah, the Raiders just stink right now. It's
Yeah.
crazy how bad they've been. Like Devontae Adams just like throwing the helmet on the sideline last night, missing him wide open over and over again. Like that should have been a career day for Devontae Adams, who's
Yeah.
had a great career, but instead they just waste it and tell him that they're not going to trade him. The weird thing is it still feels like it's going a lot better for Josh McDaniels in Vegas than it did in Denver.
And it's not.
Exactly. It's
It's
going
not.
so badly.
Yeah.
But you aren't getting players like you have Devontae Adams pissed off, not literally the entire team vocally saying like we hate this guy.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, just how bad it is with the Raiders. The Raiders did not cover the 7-point spread yesterday, and it should have been way worse.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lions tried to keep the Raiders in that game. They did everything. Jared Goff's thrown like the worst pass he's ever thrown to give them a pick six. They're fumbling at the 5-yard line when it really wasn't a fumble. But I mean, they're just doing everything. And the Raiders are just that bad.
Yeah,
they're
Raiders
like the
are
Broncos
trash.
defense first 5 games of the season.
It's pretty bad.
It is really bad. So let's jump into Henry's question. Would you rather have the offense or the Broncos defense right now? Which one is better? But first, I've got to tell you about our friends over. Where are our friends over at? Our friends are over at Primo Hoagies.
Oh wow.
You guys know a good hoagie. When James Palmer gives the stamp of approval, and he's from Philadelphia, he knows what a good sandwich is like. That is when it shows just how good it is. And I gotta say, so many people had Primo Hoagies in the office last week, and they looked incredible, smelled incredible.
Did you not
and
get one?
I didn't get one that day. No, did you? You
I
weren't
wasn't here.
Yeah,
No.
you weren't here.
No, you had hoagies when I wasn't here.
That was a James Palmer special, but
Yep.
I had to go and get one after because what's broccoli?
Rob.
Broccoli Rob.
course.
Oh my! I never thought I'd want broccoli on a sandwich.
No.
Like especially when you go out and get one. Oh my gosh, so good. So you got to check out Primo Hoagies because it's not just a Primo, or it's not just a hoagie. It's a Primo Hoagie, and they've got multiple locations in Colorado, one in Denver and Centennial, and you can order your party trays in advance. Make sure to get that broccoli Rob on at least one of them, and you can order online at primohoagies.com. It's not just a hoagie, it's Primo.
It's Primo, baby. And check out our friends over at MSU Denver, where you can turn your goals into greatness at MSU Denver. They have courses available online and in person. And don't they play CU coming up pretty soon?
They just did.
They just
Yep.
did.
And honestly, they did pretty well. I was a little
So-
disappointed. It was 69-45 from Colorado,
Okay.
but they only gave up 18 points at halftime.
Okay.
And so at that point, you're like, oh, this could be like really bad. And it was
Right.
like one of those games. Of course, you play like a D2 school, so it's like ugly in the first 10 minutes. They like hardly score at all.
Well, you said CU is going to be all world, so I think that
I know.
score
Yeah,
says
yeah.
that MSU Denver is going to be pretty good this
Yeah.
year.
know.
I like that.
CU also, they had one of those closed door scrimmages, kind of beat the hell out of Texas.
Well,
Yeah.
at MSU Denver, excellence awaits you. They have 90-plus majors, or you can create your own. You can find your future, achieve your goals with an affordable education. Degrees range from business to hospitality, aviation to the arts, education to healthcare. They have spring 2024 applications are open now. Go check out our friends at msudenver.edu.
Yeah. You can create your own major like Todd is with his real estate / sports analytics. Is that
Sports
what
estate. Sports estate.
Sports
Sports
estates.
estate.
That's right. Sports estates.
So is that building arenas?
I would love that.
Yeah, that'd
That
be a
would
great
be so
business to be
fire.
in.
Yeah.
That would be really good.
Where are you putting the Broncos Stadium?
I would build a whole new. I would take it out there by the gateway and stuff. I just think it makes so much sense.
So you're in it for the money.
You fly in, you go right to the stadium, and then we just build like this whole, kind of like how Dallas has, like this
Yep.
whole like, fan experience.
Yep.
Put the Nugget Stadium out there too, and
Oh.
you just make it a big.
Wow, you're taking everything away
Yeah.
from downtown.
I just want to
Yeah.
walk to the games though. It's
Well,
just
you
not
get-
more
it's, just a
about.
little- it's a further walk. You just gotta start walking a little earlier.
You're clearly in business for the money.
Well, Todd's smart because he'd also build apartments out there where
Yeah.
you could
Yeah,
live, and then you could
exactly.
walk there.
Wow, that
Couldn't-
is true.
You couldn't really scooter to the bar though.
You would. That's actually what would happen. Yeah, I would move out there.
Would the bar move out there?
I got us, man. We're going to have
There we go.
Okay,
we have a
good.
spot in the stadium.
Oh,
Do live
heck
streams
yes.
from the stadium.
Okay, boom. We're
That'd be
set.
so
Yeah.
good.
We're set. Let's do it. Okay, so we just talked about how good the defense has been. Let's talk about the offense really quick. First 5 games of the season, here's the Broncos' output on offense. 16 points, 33 points, 20 points, 31 points, and 21 points. In those first 5 games, the Broncos scored more points in 2 games than they did in any game last year. So that was a lot of improvement from
Yep.
the Broncos offense. However, past 3 games, Broncos have scored 8 points, 19 points, and 24 points. So you can make an argument the Broncos offense has actually taken quite a bit step back from those first 5 games. Where's the offense right now?
They're finally figuring out who they want to be, and it may be with this elite defense what we thought it would be, which is running the ball and taking the ball out of Russ's hands as much as they can. They're still getting points on the board, but they're really conquering the time of possession, which I think helps out the defense, slows down the game, and allows them to execute at a high level. So I would take the defense the way they're playing over the offense for sure, but nevertheless, I think the offense is doing a much better job of playing to their strengths and finding their identity.
Yeah. I mean, I just pull up. So only 2 teams have given up fewer points than the Broncos in the last 3 games. And only 6 teams have scored fewer points than the Broncos in the last 6. So if you look at those trends, you clearly take the defense. At the same time, though, that running game just looked so good. Like, it looks like they're at the point where they can just run on just about anybody. I mean, that's a really good defensive front, too. Like, you got Chris Jones that kind of carries it, but they've got some great linebackers. They've got Karlaftis out there. Like, Michael Dannett. Like, those are some good players. So I don't know. Maybe I'm more optimistic about the Broncos than I realized. Now that I'm thinking about, like, this defense and this offense. And we know the special teams are going to be good.
So with the offense, in the first 5 games, they averaged over 24 points per game. I'll take that in a heartbeat, especially where they were last year. That is easy money. I'm taking that. Past 3 games, 17 points per game. So a full touchdown less. And while the running game has been better, 3 games ago, first game against the Chiefs, they rushed for 115 yards. Then 2 games ago, 145 yards. Then last game, 153 yards. The rushing game is really picking up. You just have a smaller margin of error when you have that. Now, if you can rush for 153 yards and 24 points, you're going to win tons of games, especially if the defense is anywhere close to what they've been doing.
Yeah.
But we saw against the Packers, they rushed for 145 yards, really good, only 19 points. You're not going to win every game when you do that. You'll win some if the defense plays great, but not every game. And then, of course, Chiefs the week before, you only passed for 85 yards total, including sacks, so that really hurts. But you only put up 8 points. So your margin for error, because that's kind of how the Broncos played week 1. It was like slow drives, long drives, and limited possessions. And they only put up 16 points. Now, they only had 94 rushing yards, to be fair, in that game. But when you run the ball that well, that's what the game's probably going to turn into, more so of that type of game. And your margin for error is just a lot smaller. But it's okay if your defense is playing that good.
And if you get a lead.
Yeah.
If you get a lead, you can run as much as you want. And, like, you want to slow the game down. And that's what went so well for the Broncos in that last game, is that they could just run and run and run. And, I mean, what was the stat? It was something like the Broncos had the ball for, like, 15 of the first 18 minutes of the second half.
Yeah.
And part of that's because they fumbled that punt. But when you can just control a game like that, that's how you win football games.
Yep.
That's what you need, is that running game at the end.
Only thing I'm nervous about is I think there was 5 turnovers in that game, and we only had 24 points.
That's
Like,
a really good point.
and we got 7 points off the first drive.
Yep.
So
a good
you
point.
mean, there's only 17 points there,
Yeah.
including 5 turnovers. I think we're going to need more points than that, especially with a dominant defense. I mean, we can't win games with 24 points in the NFL. I don't think you can.
Yeah.
You're going to need more than that, even if your defense is playing at a high level. And what's crazy to me about these stats is the Broncos looked phenomenal on offense running the ball, and they had 150-something yards. The Broncos were averaging, giving up 108. Like, do you realize what that really means? Like, they were averaging 180 yards per game.
Yep.
It's just getting, like, ran over and just hanging on for dear life.
Yeah.
You're just taking it. And I mean, Todd, to your point, where the Broncos were getting the ball from these turnovers was incredible field position. Like,
Oh yeah.
I guess no, like none of them were they backed up at their own 20 after
Nope.
getting a turnover. I mean, they were like at the 45, at the 50 for multiple of them, and then obviously one at the Chiefs' 5-yard line
Yep.
off of that. So, and then another one, Justin Simmons. I know it was at the end of the game, but like Justin ran it back to like the Chiefs' 25-yard. Like the Broncos couldn't have asked their defense and special teams to give them the ball at
Yep.
better places. Damn, that kind of brought me down a little bit.
Oh man, my bad.
Yeah.
No, but it's realistic, and you're never you can't consistently ask for 5 turnovers
Yep.
in a game. If you're consistently getting 2 turnovers in a game, probably
lead
going to
the
be the
league.
best. Yeah, exactly. So it's a really good point. But to me, yeah, this defense is much better than this offense right now, which is just crazy to say from a month ago.
So
It turns it around.
next game's against the Bills. You think we leave that saying the defense is better than the offense? Defense plays better than the offense in that game?
Yes.
You do?
Well, because Todd made me open my eyes yesterday to one Von Miller, and not
True.
just how good he is, but the type of mentality he could have with that.
Yep.
If I'm Von, I'm lining up against Mike McGlinchey every single play,
Yep.
and really limiting Russell Wilson to like 100 passing yards. And then on the other side, the Bills' offense, I mean, they can be electric and dynamic, but they are hardly unstoppable.
Yeah.
And talk about turnovers, Josh Allen could absolutely throw a few up there.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious. I honestly, going through this, just makes you think the Broncos have a pretty good football team, which scares me to say. And I'm not saying like they're going to make the playoffs or anything crazy like that, but as of now, I just expect that game to be competitive. Like, I do wonder if the bubble bursts a little bit on guys like, Jaquan McMillan, who's played great and deserves all the credit in the world. It does seem like for a young player who hasn't played much, at some point you have a tough performance. Is Fabian Moreau really like a solid starting cornerback in the NFL at this point in his career after he hasn't been able to be that for a couple years? You probably expect a tough performance from him at some point. So I do wonder if they're maybe getting just a little bit lucky with some of these guys and they come back to earth. But based on the way they've played, there's no reason to think they can't slow the Bills down. And on the other side, run all over the Bills.
Yeah, and for me to answer that question, I would be nervous if it was one game against the Chiefs, maybe getting just a little bit of luck and the offense is not able to adjust to you. The fact that 2 of these 3 games have been against the Chiefs, I know the Chiefs aren't as good on offense as they've been, but the Chiefs, don't forget, entering last Sunday's game against the Broncos, they were still the number 6 scoring offense in the NFL. They had taken a step back from being like number 1. They were still really, really good, unstoppable for the most part, and the Broncos have absolutely shut them down, so that's what gives me the confidence to think it's not just like a lucky couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good test for the Broncos. I think I need to see them perform well before I'm fully on board.
Yeah.
Because I really feel like this is a 1-game turnaround. I know the Chiefs game early, they fought hard, but we didn't. We looked terrible on offense, and then our defense stopped them in the red zone. But they really moved the ball at will at any other point in the field.
Yeah.
So I just need to see it like one more time, like a repeat performance of what we did on Sunday, so I can be fully bought in. Because if they can continue to repeat this performance, and what I like is that young guys are making plays, so they know their job. They're executing at a high level. So we will be missing K-Jack, for one more game, which is big. But I just need to see one more good performance, I feel like.
And there's just so many of those little things. Like with P.J. Locke, who played pretty well. There was like that one missed tackle in the hole that cost him another like 18 yards.
Yeah.
There were the 2 passes, the one to the end zone on the 4th down where he was like a step or 2 behind and the receiver couldn't bring it in.
Sky Moore should have caught that.
Yeah. There was
Went through his
another
hands.
one on the sideline where PJ was like a step or 2 behind and Mahomes couldn't get the ball to him. And so at the same time, if Mahomes is missing throws and that's why maybe you got a little bit lucky, like that's... I don't know. If Mahomes misses throws, then any quarterback's going to miss a couple open throws, So who knows? I think the craziest stat that I just found is the best defense in the NFL the last 3 weeks. The Giants have given up 34 points.
Wow.
They're 1-2 in those games.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Man.
they're getting up 13, 7, and 14. They're 1-2.
Wow, that is tough. That's like the Broncos last year. Great defensive performance, and they just come away with the loss nearly every single week. And Todd, to your point, the Broncos defense points per game the last 3 games has been elite. 15 points per game, that's elite. But they're in the top 10 in terms of the rushing yards that they're giving up, but they're number 9, so it's not like they're elite there. They're really good. And passing yards, like I said, they're giving up the 12th most passing yards. So it's come down to the red zone defense, which has just been lights out these past 3 weeks. And my question to you is, how sustainable is that to be a true bend but don't break defense? Is that something you can maintain all season?
I think you can if you are able to be that good in the red zone, because in the red zone, even Baldy talked about it, there's really 2 coverages we're going to run, cover 1 and cover 4. If we're just better than you and you can't scheme up things to beat us, then we can kind of, be elite the whole year. But if they start coming with trick plays and kind of getting the young guys' heads, then I think that's when it becomes unsustainable for the whole year. But it's definitely sustainable.
Okay, so great red zone defense can be sustainable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and that's going to be the key for the Broncos, because clearly they're not going to go out and average 30 points per game on the offensive side of the ball. But that red zone defense, you think?
I don't think it's clear
Oh, they've averaged 17 points the last 3 weeks.
in the last 3 weeks. But I mean, there have been so many good signs. That running game's going. The passing game is taking a step back, but like it has been so efficient. You have all those Russell Wilson stats about what they do on like a per pass basis. Like I don't think there's a reason they can't go on a stretch where they average 30.
And the reason I don't think so is because you're not going to do that running the ball. Running the ball, you're going to be doing what they've done the past. Not the past 3 games, but if you win on offense by running the ball, you're going to get 24 points per game, I think.
Yeah, we'll see. I at this point, I just look at this team and say we don't. It's almost just a clean slate now. Like the defense is screwed up and kind of come back. The offense has had its moments, but it's had its tough spells. You go into the bye week and I think either group could be good, either group could be bad. It's just tough that you're 3-5 and not 4-4 going into this spot.
So I'm taking the offense, or I'm taking the defense right now.
Yep.
Who are you taking right now?
Right now, the defense for sure, without a doubt.
Henry?
Yeah, I'd probably go defense the rest of the way.
After all he said about the offense, now he's taking the defense.
I didn't say it was going. I said I think
was
it's a
hyping 'em
conversation.
up.
I think either way,
They can score 30 points a game.
I think they can. I don't want to say they can't. Like that, you look at the way that offensive line is working at this point. Like, if Russ just hits open receivers and it's not just checkdowns and it's not just balls up the sideline. That's all of a sudden a really good offense. Woo! It's a big ask.
We
but
have a big trade coming down
He'll
the
say it.
line.
Look.
And we'll talk about it after I tell you about our
Oh,
friends
look.
over at Backus and Schenker. Be safe
Google
out
it.
there tonight. Be extra cautious out there tonight. And if something does happen, make sure to check out our friends over at Backus and Schenker, where you can call 222-2222 to set up a free consultation, or you can check them out over at coloradolaw.net. If you're in an accident, a car accident, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrian, truck, they even can help you if you're injured in a work accident. Call them at 222-2222 to see if you have a case for free. That's Backus and Schenker.
And so my girlfriend said that. Never mind. It doesn't matter.
Whoa.
Just no.
Okay. Yeah, keep that to yourself.
Just talking about
Henry.
whether a zoo would even want like a social media manager, and I have a
my
lot of. I think
gosh.
that would be awesome if your job was just to like go around and be like, here's what they're doing with like it's Penguin Day for X-rays or whatever it is, you know? Like it'd be kind of fun. But sorry,
Penguin
that just got me
Day
excited,
for
so I didn't go
X-rays?
straight. Oh yeah, you X-ray all the animals like once a year. Give them like all the scans, all that sort of stuff.
Oh, and you put that on social media? All right.
I would look. Yeah, so Breckenridge Distillery, they make a whole bunch of cool stuff. We've got. Do we have both the bottles of whiskey? Somebody
No,
must have
one of
drank the
them's-
other
yep,
one.
exactly.
God, these people.
Is this one cracked
We don't
yet?
even. No, it's not
Are
cracked.
we sure that's whiskey and not just like apple juice? Someone drank it and filled it up with juice?
Wow, those Avs guys probably. I don't even know if we have we had the thing of shots too, but those are all gone. Point
course.
is, it's irresistible. People at this company can't keep their hands off of it. because it is that good. This is the Broncos bourbon, and I can't tell which one it is. It's either the Ed McCaffrey or it's the Alfred Williams. 2 different blends. So you can actually go to BreckenridgeDistillery.com/bourbon-of-Denver-Broncos, and you can vote for which one's your favorite. If you vote, you've got a chance to win 2 tickets to the Breckenridge Bourbon Whiskey Suite for the Broncos-Chargers game on New Year's Eve. It's really cool. Me and Zach went up there, and it's pretty crazy. Also, the bourbon is very good. We learned that day as well. So go and vote. They'll narrow it down to 10 favorites on December 1st. You've still got a month to get on the action. Breckenridge Distillery has products in all 50 states. You can also shop your local retailer or visit BreckenridgeDistillery.com.
All right. Did you guys cheat and see the big trade?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You
I
did.
saw it on the comments. I saw it on the
Chase Young going to the 49ers. Wow, the 49ers must really like Randy Gregory.
What is he doing, man? What's happening?
I can't believe that they got Randy Gregory and then had to go get another edge rusher.
It's wild. I mean, a guy that last year 2 teams offered him a 5-year, $70 million contract. He got to say no to the Cowboys, yes to the Broncos. Then they trade him, and now they're just looking for even more help.
That's crazy to
It
me.
really is. And they have not won a game since they traded for Randy. It's wild.
Well,
It's wild.
that's
I
wild.
hope Randy's doing all right. That would really, that would hurt to know, like, oh, I feel like I might be being held back by the Broncos a little bit. Oh, I get this fresh start with a really good team. Go out there, you lose 3 in a row, and then they trade for somebody. Because, like, he was a backup, too.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't even starting. And so then they say, like, no, we even need another guy on top of this. That just...
You're just
I hope he's
wiping
doing all
your
right.
tears with $100 bills.
That's true.
So
That's
true.
true. Especially because the Broncos had to give him like 95% of his salary the rest of the season just up front when he left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind. I don't feel bad. He's doing all right.
Man, Chase Young, the 49ers are really going all in right now. And clearly they need to do something. They're on a 3-game losing streak right now. 3 weeks ago, just as the Broncos seemed like they were never going to stop another team on offense again, it seemed like the 49ers were never going to lose another game. Not 3 straight. It's kind of wild.
It is. I don't think their troubles are on defense though.
Yeah.
So
I don't
that
they're
is
not
true.
getting chased. I don't know. It'll help, but I think they're having some issues in other places.
Yeah, their
Yeah.
quarterback not playing as well as he did for like first 16 games of his career.
Yeah. You think
When-
the league figured him out? Sometimes it happens.
It does happen often. I mean, how long does that take for a defense to figure a guy out?
Sometimes it takes a full season. I mean, he's had quite a bit of time. I think you look at Cam Newton, he can go 15-1 in the very next year, like
Yep.
trash. Not trash. I don't want to call Cam Newton trash, but he just never was himself. He never
Yeah.
was elite
Yeah.
anymore for the rest of his career. And I think defensive coordinators just figured him out.
Do you want to take credit for that?
I mean, I was there.
You were back-to-back games.
Back to back, twice, 2 times in a row. But
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
who's counting?
I mean, and the thing is, they're hardly giving anything up. Like a compensatory 3rd-round pick, halfway between a 3rd and a 4th. Like that's
Nothing.
basically nothing. And on top of that, it's the 49ers who they have so many comp picks over and over and over again
Good point.
because they keep losing free agents because they can't pay these guys. Like looking at so they still have their 1st, their 2nd, their 3rd, their 4th, the Cowboys 4th from the Trey Lance trade. They don't have their 5th. They have their 6th. They have the 7th and the Broncos 7th from the Randy Gregory trade. So like they still
Loaded.
have bonus picks at this point despite making this trade.
You know what's crazy is if their quarterback situation doesn't work out, how far are they going to go? I mean, I guess you could look at the 2015 team, 2015 Broncos, and say it.
No, but we weren't giving the ball up. Whether it was Brock
Yeah,
or Peyton, they weren't
that's
giving
true.
the ball up, and that kept us in games. And
true.
then when we did get turnovers, they always capitalized off it, and they're just not doing that right now. So even though we were really, really good, those guys are pretty good too. I will say that.
Yeah.
And then CJ was running the ball. CJ and Ronnie
Yep,
running the ball like
true.
madmen. So,
Yep.
It's
and,
different.
And you still have Peyton out there like audibling, choosing plays,
Yep.
doing all that sort of stuff, which is a big difference versus Brock Purdy.
Yeah. No, it's very true. And this is a 2nd straight year where they've made a deadline deal. They got Christian McCaffrey last year for I think a 2nd and a 3rd, and now they're doing this deal. And the Broncos last year made a deal right about now for Bradley Chubb, trading him away. Still no deals for the Broncos, but we're keeping our eye on that. And as we keep our eye on that, let's jump into our Bet365 top 5. Little different type of top 5 for this one. We're going to go Broncos Halloween costumes for this year because it looked like there was a little Broncos Halloween party last night.
Yep.
And some guys really go all out. I know when you were on the team, was it Vaughn's Halloween party? He had
That's
that
right.
every year. And then there was some trouble in the very last one.
I don't
and
remember
I think
that.
stopped. We can pull out some news stories about it.
I don't remember that. I don't have good service in here.
Ended with Woody. We'll just say that. But let's hop into some pictures from these from the Broncos. And Alyssa, you want to pull some up? Some of these guys, I don't even know who it is because their costumes are so good, and a little spooky too. So
Yeah.
these are ones definitely from the Halloween party. So we've got. Who is on the far? Oh, Jerry Jeudy,
Yep.
yeah.
on the far left. He is dressed as
The Joker.
the Joker. Yeah,
Okay.
very scary. Very
Yeah.
good.
Maybe just no, it's
face
a Joker.
paint.
Yeah.
Then we got Coach Prime, aka
Russ.
Russell Wilson,
yep,
going
Russ.
as Coach Prime. Then who do we have next to Russ? Can you tell who that is?
Is that Kareem?
It is, yes, Kareem Jackson. What is he?
A B-boy?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a specific
Just going as cool
Yeah.
guy.
Cool guy.
cool guy.
Looks
There we go.
cool to me. And then who is that next to him?
That's Pat.
Is it? Because I
Yeah.
looked in this picture, his hair looks really black. In the picture that he posted, it looks like a little more brown. I wasn't sure. But
No.
Pat went all after this. And of course, on the picture on the left, you got Tim Patrick
Yeah.
going as a skeleton, I think.
Uh-huh.
And then who do we have on the right? We got Cortland in the top right,
Yep.
who I can't tell what his outfit is. Who's in the middle bottom? Just wearing a mask. If
Well,
you can
it's tough to tell because of the mask. Yeah. Sorry, Zach. Can't help you out there.
And then who's on the left?
Is that Lutz?
I don't think so. I don't think that's Lutz.
I don't think that's Lutz either.
Is that your guy?
Palshevsky?
No.
No.
Troutman?
Your other guy. No, his
I
other
mean,
guy. Yep.
Oh,
Tight
Nate
end.
Adkins?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's. No. Who is that?
If anyone in the comments knows, let us know. But we're being told that Judy is not the Joker, Henry.
Oh,
Henry
it's just a clown.
Henry was like literally laughing at me for not knowing that was the Joker,
Oh,
and
it's-
now
it is like
the
a-
Joker
it is a
is
clown.
laughing at
Yeah.
you for thinking he was the Joker,
Yeah,
Henry.
no, I'm not laughing.
Somebody said K-Jack is Bobby Brown.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
That's funny.
So let's pull up some more photos of some Halloween here. Okay, here we go. Here's Judy up close. Terrifying. And
Yeah.
if you really zoom in, he's got like the contacts in, which make his
Yeah.
eyes look even like creepier. So he crushed that one. And then that's Pat on the left. What is Pat?
It's like
Avatar.
Avatar.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
Kind
really
of laughing
good.
you for that one?
Sure, yeah.
Why would it be blue
I
with
looked
all
at
the
this for like
stuff?
I looked at it for like 15 minutes this morning and didn't know either.
Blue dreadhead.
Do you know who we have on the right side? Well, we talked about these ones before. We got Jarrett
yeah.
Stidham
Yep.
going as Elvis. And do you know? So Alex Singleton and his girlfriend are on the left. Do you know who they are though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Sadly, but
yeah, exactly.
Sadly.
Everybody was. You were Justin Bieber.
Oh, was I? So that's who he is?
Well, the point was everybody is kind of doing like the Justin Bieber, like Haley Bieber thing, and that reminded me that Zach is also.
Yeah.
So you're on the trend.
I did do that. I can't say I was in the trend.
Oh.
My wife was on the trend,
Oh.
and she gave me this costume.
Okay, and you were
She gave you
Justin,
the
right?
fit?
Yeah, actually, I'll just. Yeah, she actually did, Todd.
Okay.
Let's. I'll send a picture in there. Yeah. So
Matt Henningsen.
Matt Henningsen, they're Justin
Damn.
Bieber and Haley Bieber. Yeah, for some reason, like they went to dinner or on a date once, and she was wearing like a very nice dress, like fancy, and he was wearing a sweatshirt with a hat on top of the sweatshirt hood.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crocs with socks and sweat shorts.
I like the vibe though.
Yeah. Oh man. If
Yeah.
I can go on dates like that, absolutely.
It's fun because I'm here. My wife or my girl looks beautiful. I'm just here to play. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to hang out and pay, so I can come in sweats if I want.
So true. Today I'm dressed up. Went with Lulu pants instead of sweats. So
There you go.
that's dressing up for this show. Okay, so let's do our Bet365 top 5 and give the best outfits for
Okay.
these guys. I mean, for me, looking at those, yeah, I mean, Pat, we've got him in there. I think Pat or Judy won out, and Pat really went all out. So
Yeah, he did.
I think we can go Pat for number 1.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember guys used to go like crazy for these things. They used to hire like makeup artists and fly them in. Like it was a big deal.
Man, fly makeup artist in. That's it from Hollywood? Like get the
Yes.
real?
Yes. Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if Pat did that. His looks pretty good.
His
Yeah.
does look good. Also, I'm pretty sure Matt Henningsen is an elf.
Wow.
Yeah. Which looking at this bigger, I'm pretty sure. It's a choice. Maybe he's Robin Hood. I don't know. It's definitely not Matt though.
It's not Matt.
Not number 2. No.
Matt number 2.
Yeah.
Judy number 2?
I think Jerry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Judy
that's a
number
good
two.
costume.
I mean, he legitimately looks scary. And so that means he did his costume really well.
Yep.
And what are we saying he is? If he's not the Joker.
Will they say Pennywise?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Never seen it.
Yeah. Well, and I want to, but it 2 came out. So again, girlfriend wants to go see it. I was like, well, I haven't seen number 1, but she's seen it, so she doesn't want to watch it. So I can't watch it. I just
By
need to.
yourself?
Yeah, because I'm not watching a scary movie by myself.
Why
you
not?
know? I don't know. It just feels weird. I don't need to like sit at home and be scared. You
Do
know?
it, man. You only live once.
That's true. I don't know.
Lock
Maybe.
the doors.
Wow. Definitely need to lock the doors. I'm on the ground floor.
Get like a little kitchen knife. Get a
Oh.
kitchen knife.
Yeah.
Doesn't like your door not
and you'd be
close all the
good.
way too?
No, that it closes.
Oh, it does.
That's my bedroom door. You're right. Yeah. That's not the best apartment complex.
Maybe
Yeah.
don't watch a scary movie while living there, Henry.
Who is number 3? This is tricky. I don't think it's Russ. I think Russ did a decent job. I don't think it was like
Kind
a
of an
great,
easy one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like if you're just putting on a hoodie, and hey, it's what I did, so I'm not bashing that type of outfit.
I didn't even
but I
do
think
anything.
what?
Jared Stidham.
Yeah, I think it
Elvis.
is Stidham.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, that's good. That's
think he
That
put
is
some
really
effort into
good.
that.
The Elvis is good.
I like that. So we're going Elvis there. All right, who else? Tim Patrick just had a. We can't do Tim because his
Yeah.
was too easy.
I respect it though. People are saying it might be Javante with the mask.
In the middle.
Yeah.
How could you tell? Oh,
That's the
wait.
thing.
Can you pull up? Alyssa, can you pull up the one where there's like 5 or 6 guys in it, please?
It's the one where Brandon Johnson is like a shirtless Joker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's Brandon Johnson.
Yes.
He looked. I think we go Brandon Johnson here.
Yeah.
Cool. We're talking right picture, very far left top.
Yep.
He's shirtless there. He looks like. I thought he was like Alexander Johnson. I thought he was like a 6'5",
Yeah.
245-pound linebacker because he just looks ripped and scary in that outfit or in that costume. I guess he's not really wearing an
Yeah.
outfit.
The costume is just the mask or the face paint.
The face paint, yeah, that's pretty good.
It is good face paint too. I could put him up there.
Brandon, do we go Matt Henningsen?
No.
No, we gotta go K-Jack. At least he put
Oh
together.
yeah, yeah,
That-
yeah,
yeah,
I like
yeah.
that. And then you know what? Should we just round it out? Wait,
I think
that's
that is
it.
rounded
Yeah,
out.
we did. We did just round it out there.
Who was 4?
We went with
Oh.
Brandon Johnson.
Brandon Johnson.
He is the Joker.
Henningsen is like a. What?
that-
It's like.
What is that?
Is it Legend of Zelda? Is that what that's
Oh
called?
yes, with the ears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
Is the person he's with from that as well?
I would imagine. Same
Yeah.
ears.
Same ears. We're going Kareem Jackson for Bobby Brown.
Bob.
I have no idea. That's what you said.
That's what the comments say. I don't know if that's that. It was very.
We could just go Kareem. We could just put him on there.
do Bobby Brown. It's all right. Listen.
All right, so there we go. A little fun on Halloween, and we want to make sure that we talk to the people. So let's dive into the comment section. But first, got to tell you about our friends over at Bet365, where they are all about never ordinary. You can get so many different bets over at Bet365, and man, you could have capitalized recently with some crazy bets that they've been putting out. They have a lot of fun bets, and you can choose your offer first bet safety net of $1,000 in bonus bets, or bet $5 and receive $150 in bonus bets when you sign up using the code DNVR365 over at Bet365. So check them out to get in on the action this weekend. The Broncos aren't playing, but you can still be in and invested in games with the code DNVR Bet365. So head to the App Store now, download the Bet365 app, and use code DNVR365 when you sign up. You must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
And if you're looking for tickets to any sporting event, music concert, comedy show, theater event, you need to check out our friends over at Game Time. If you want to come see the Broncos and the Bills and you want to see the defense turn it on again, Game Time is the app for you. I'm looking on the app right now for some tickets for my son. I like it because they have like all the fees included in the pricing, so you get to see what you're looking at. You don't have to click it and then all of a sudden it's $700 more because of tons and fees. It's a great place to buy tickets. It's the only app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. You can go download the app right now at the App Store using code DNVR for 20% off. Create an account, redeem the code DNVR today, and you get 20% off.
Boom.
Can be courtside for the Mavs game on Friday. $3,000.
You are?
Not bad.
No.
I'll be
I
at
thought
that
you
game.
said I'm
No.
going to be courtside.
No.
Like,
I got to win a
damn.
couple more bets before I do that.
Dang, big time. Well, what's the bet then? What's the go-to $3,000 courtside bet?
Oh, wow. I mean, $3,000. You'd probably just want to go like long odds, you know? Like a
Right,
parlay.
like low money.
Like a big parlay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe make like 3 parlays that you can put like $25 each on. Hope one hits.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be
You'd
the
have
way
to
to
be
do it.
getting some crazy odd parlays.
I know. And that's what
for
sucks
that.
about betting on the Nuggets and the Avs. They're favored every game.
Not the Broncos.
Not the Broncos.
You
We
can
always
take
have the
advantage of that.
Broncos.
I
Yep.
bet. What do you think the line's going to be for Monday night in Buffalo? Who does Buffalo play this week? They play
Like 4.5.
4.5.
Oh.
That would be. I'll go 7.
It's Sunday night against the Bengals.
Oh yeah,
So-
and they're dogs because
Could
it's
be a
in
letdown
Cincinnati,
game.
right?
Yeah.
Back primetime games.
It is back to back. I'll go 6.5.
Okay. Wow, I've got the longest odds. All right.
Yep.
Broncos are 7-point dogs against the Chiefs, and they pulled off the upset.
They did.
So we'll see on that. Alyssa, did you see my message in Slack? We can pull that up at the very end. If you'll put that next. There we go. There's my outfit going as I'm trying to mean mug. I don't have to do the best mean
It
mug.
was great.
But
Yeah.
on my costume, the hat is my wife's, the sweatshirt is my wife's, the shoes are my wife's. The only thing that's mine are my socks,
Okay.
my underwear, which are just
And
normal.
draw.
Okay.
Hopefully,
And,
hopefully
and
those
my,
are draws.
and my
Good to
shorts.
know.
My shorts are mine too.
Nice.
So yeah, just going as the classic fit for Halloween.
Love
Wow.
Like I said, very comfortable.
Yeah.
Todd, you going outfit tonight? You going costume?
it. Nah, I don't really dress up.
No. When's the last time you dressed up?
I don't even know.
Really? Not
One of the team's Halloween parties?
Exactly.
I don't think I ever even dressed up. I was just there to have a good
Really?
time. I'm not really into goons and goblins.
Neither am I.
So-
I haven't worn a costume since, I guess, college costume parties. Yeah. And every year, Lexi would be like, no, we're doing something. And then it just, I'm able to get out of it. Last year we were in London. Were we flying to London?
No,
Do they
Flying
celebrate
back?
Halloween in London?
They kind
No.
of do.
Maybe.
Sort
Like
of.
Jack the Ripper. He's from London.
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
He
I
is.
think there were a lot of bars like that actually, like
Yeah.
kind of theme like that. We got back on Halloween.
Got back,
We
yeah.
landed at like 8 p.m.
Because that was the day after the game.
Right.
So, yeah. So we didn't have the option.
No, we did not
Fine
have
with
the
me.
option, but we do have the option to talk to the people in the comment section now. I saw we have some super chats. Let's pull those up right now. And first one coming in from Captain Groot says, $50 super chat for the Super Bowl 50 champ. Heck yeah.
Yes.
I'm from Sacramento and always looked up to you, Todd. P.S. Thanks for not letting me give up on Vance. Broncos Country, let's ride.
Let's do
Let's
it, man.
ride.
Sacktown, stand up, man. We really appreciate you tuning in. And Vance is our guy, man. I think he's doing a great job turning it around. So I appreciate you not giving up on him, for sure.
Yeah, you might be giving up on him when he's the head coach of another team next year. Thank you so much, Captain Groot. That's very generous. We appreciate it. Jay comes in and says, "We did it. Thanks, y'all, for the DNVR experience. Love getting to meet Zach, Henry, Alexis. Todd did out the back. Bartenders let me see the set. Everything was awesome. Much love, y'all. Thank you so much, Jay. It was awesome to meet you.
Yes.
And as always, we love meeting you guys. So if you see us, make sure to say hi. Isaiah chiming in with 2 super chats. Thank you, Isaiah. And then leaves a comment, says, with the AFC West struggling and the Bills finish with the AFC struggling, can we beat the Bills and finish with a winning record and sneak into the playoffs? P.S. It was sweet meeting RK and Todd last week at the DNVR Bar. We're going to be talking about what's next for the Broncos. Can they make a playoff push? I believe that's on the docket for tomorrow. So great question, Isaiah, and stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll have to do like the full which games you need to win. Let's see, how many more wins? They need 7 more wins probably to make the playoffs. 10-7.
Probably, yeah.
And so they have 2 more losses. So we'll have to go through and see what the 2 hardest games are. So you probably have to win the other 7.
Bills for sure.
Bills, you definitely. Probably
Bills on the road, yeah.
Probably the Lions too. I still don't even think the Lions are that good though. Like they're not in the tier with like the 49ers and the Chiefs and like the 5 or 6 good
3
teams.
Straight.
I know, but they're still the 49ers.
Chiefs have lost 1 straight.
I know, but they still scare me a lot more than the Lions do.
Man, I think the Lions probably have the 3rd best odds to win the NFC. I'd imagine behind the 49ers and the Eagles.
Yeah.
Eagles look really good.
They do look really good.
All right, next one coming in from, did we hit all the super chats? We got one more coming in from Arvada Luke. Our guy says, Hank, when we settling up the bet? Let's ride. Yes, you bet the Broncos were not going to beat the Chiefs this year.
That's right.
And what was the bet? Was it pizza?
$1 million?
$1 million.
Wow.
Wow.
It was less than $1 million, I think. It was a membership. It's like a gift DNVR membership and a beer.
Wow. Was that to anybody or just to Arvada Luke?
I think he has a membership, so as to anybody. This was months ago, so please don't lie about the details when you explain them to me, because I can't remember. I promise I'm going to go back and check.
Hit us in the comments, and we'll pull it up to get the details there.
Maybe for that Monday night game, if you want the beer then, because we'll be at the bar. Won't be in Buffalo.
Yep. Yeah. It's very true.
Yeah.
All right. We are 1 hour away till the trade deadline. We will see if the Broncos make a deal. And regardless, if they make a deal, if they don't, we're going to be back in about roughly an hour. If they make a deal, it's probably going to be a little bit longer so we can talk to Sean Payton and George Payton and then talk to all of you. And we got one more trade coming down the wire. The Browns are trading Donovan Peoples-Jones to the Lions. So not the juiciest trade we've talked about.
I think it might be.
Why?
Well, because the Browns have been the team that's most interested in Jerry Jeudy since the offseason. And there they go, getting rid of a receiver.
Oh, wow.
So we'll leave you with that.
Oh,
and,
what a tease.
Dun, 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 dun.
We'll see if there's some scary news before the trade deadline. We will see you in an hour, so stay tuned. Thanks for riding with us.
We all silly like the mayor.